Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's time for game number 2. GeekFam up 1-0. Had a bit of a mistake in the break time screen. Accidentally gave XctN a point where they didn't earn it. They got rolled over here just by losing one, not even team fight, just 2 heroes picked off, and then GeekFam just, as Mr. V said, with the killer instinct coming through. But yeah, also the admin's yelling at me about in-game mic or something not working, but it's been broadcasting the entire time, so I've no idea what that's about either.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Testing. Maybe, you never know. Maybe it's some patch has changed some like back-end audio or something. I went and I reset my settings, but they're the same as they were.
Yeah, ditto.
I'll have a look at a replay if we go to game 3, but I think we're good. I hope we're good.
Yeah. Well, just focus back on the games here, of course. As I said, game number 2. XctN. They came in as the favorites for this one, but they have to maybe rethink their strategy a little bit, and definitely have to respect GeekFam after that performance in the last game. Their strategy did work out, right? They managed to hold on to their own high ground for the most part, and got to that point where they had the crazy amount of push damage to work with.
I think that like GeekFam played really patiently, and it was kind of memey how they just kind of tossed in the Drow at various fight and how they utilized the timing. But I think they did so really well, and it actually kind of worked with their playstyle. Because XctN did not have a hyper initiating team, and they didn't have a way of like dealing with the Medusa to shut her down. They needed like Hex or something that they could limit the Medusa's ability to turn a team fight with her ultimate. And so both these teams were kind of just at this like the stalemate where they couldn't do anything unless they luckily got pickoffs. And as soon as GeekFam got those 2 pickoffs, there was nothing the buildings from XctN could do to survive a Medusa Drow bloodlusted like team can do.
You forgot about the Bloodlust, but it's gonna make a reappearance here, Ogre Magi in first phase, together with a puck this time, so it's also something that they've gone to in the open qualifiers for this event a couple of times. Yeah, the exact same opener. And they've also picked up a line and a lot of these games too. Bane Mirana, so there's plenty of things up their sleeve that we can maybe expect.
I think that XctN, I'm seeing a lot of minus armor here, and like both these 2 picks have like pretty good initiation and kind of control factors in fight. So I wouldn't be surprised if XctN just went all out with like a Shadow Fiend, Lifestealer type lineup. Maybe not exactly what you want to go for entirely in case the other team decides to build up something like
Radiant team pick.
And this is kind of that prevention pick that you talked about as GeekFam was running the Mirana Bane combo. But XctN probably wants some other sources of damage beyond the physical.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so it wouldn't be too opposed to the Mirana of their own at this point. I mean, you already have the Slada to be able to just walk in and follow up with a crush to any sort of nightmare. Also puts the Vengeful Spirit though in a core role already, doesn't it? Or do you run Slaughter and anything but 4?
You could run dual offlane Slaughter Bane and run the Venge as a 5 position. But I don't think core Venge is even that bad, so
certainly one of these high octane strats that if you manage to stay ahead, you can do a ridiculous amount of damage. You generally pair it up with some sort of right-clicky mid-hero that can pick up the slack in the later parts of the game and make use of that aura and the minus armor. As you said, with the Shadow Fiend would come to mind. As a prime one, sniper, these kind of heroes. And it can be very effective. If you fall behind though, then you just still end up being as squishy as a support, and that you had core roll farm, and you're missing out on the basis of that.
I love the switch up. You go minus armor, and then you balance it out with a lot of magical damage, and that really puts pressure on the opposing team to
10 seconds remaining.
carefully think about your itemization. Because if you're all armor, you don't necessarily have to build BKB. you can just go for things like straight Solar Cresses or Assault Cuirasses. And by mixing up your draft dynamic to incorporate these multiple sources of initiation and damage types, it makes dealing with them more complicated for the other team. And that's where you can see weaknesses and errors come into play and use those errors to your own advantage.
Yeah.
Execrations turn to ban.
They picked Marana still. All right. Still partly a deny pick, I guess. You have Storm set up with Rubik, I guess. Can't really count the Ogre with the short duration stun the early levels.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, you could also hope that Bane nightmares his own teammates and sets you up for an error and grieves his teammates, but you know, I don't think that's going to happen. Seems unlikely. I may have done it once or twice. No confessions here, though. Just maybe. I really like the Marana with the Rubik, though, because I feel like this combo is kind of that closer medium range of aggression that you see in the laning phase, where Rubik's like, hey, I can throw you from here out to this creep, like outside the creep wave, and this close range arrow comes in, and that just adds a lot of damage and is super punishing.
Yep.
Especially for heroes like Slardar that may have sprint active, or heroes like Venge that aren't particularly mobile and don't likely get their boots until a few minutes in, unless they're lucky and get a kill in their lane. GeekFam forced to pick before due to the just kind of the pick setup. I believe they opted to go second pick over picking sides, but I would have to check the lobby chat first.
10 seconds remaining.
Well,
5 seconds remaining.
We'll have plenty of flexibility in this draft, with the Park and the Moran obviously being able to go pretty much anywhere. Rubik and Ogre also very solid support combos.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You end up going here, something with more control to try and deal with the Queen of Pain.
Yeah,
Even
you could go for something like Sven. Yeah, that's what I was thinking in terms of just like armor to deal with the Corrosive Haze and Wave of Terror, but you may also want just a natural Lincoln's builder as well. And they go with Cancer instead. Great. Good quality picks coming out here.
That also works, right? I mean, you can pack offlane Marana, say Viper mid. That seems to be the plan here. Or you can go for some sort of aggro lane with Marana. Leave the puck safe lane.
It depends on what you're faced up against. If the Venge is core, you probably don't want to aggro into that. One thing that I will point out is this is the second time GeekFam has gone for a dual core range setup. It was Drow Medusa, and now it's Viper Marana. And this just may be a play style that they run. Like this may be how they play as a team, and it may be on the side of execration to find a way to counter that play style.
You fail at Twitter, by the way, because if you lead with the ads, then only people that follow me and you can see it. Just saying.
Clearly, I don't want other people knowing about me casting.
Need to drop the dot on top of it.
Add the dot.
Alright.
Now you know.
Last big execration. What do we have now? I mean, you'd assume still some sort of physical damage dealer, right? On top of the Slaughter Bench. With the Queen of Pain too, like Lifestealer wouldn't be the worst choice here, would it?
No, it wouldn't be bad. Maybe even Phantom Assassin. To get on top of these range heroes, just build a BKB and get in their face. But I like Lifestealer, Phantom Assassin, even Wraith King could be kind of funny. You do have to face up against the mana break, but they opt to go Core Venge, I'm assuming.
Yep. Looks like it now. RR, the Underlord, is going to take that to the offlane. One would think. Yeah, mid Queen of Pain. What is that? Scepter? Never seen that item. Crazy. But yeah, and for Avenge, rolling slaughter. So probably the most standard way to run it these days. I mean, we've seen Vengeful Spirit as a support once in a while, but it's like 75-25 or so in terms of percentages. I don't even know. But yeah. Are we paused again? Is this what's happening? No, it's just time taken out. Again, GeekFam up 1-0. This is not a mistake. They did win the first game of this series, and if they win this one too, well then they'll be the ones to move on in the upper bracket up against New Beginning, against probably all odds Execration. Definitely coming in with the better name recognition as the favorites here into this particular series. But they have to prove it. They have to put some points on the board here and push the game, or push the series to a third game.
And they may actually look to try to be active here. Venge doesn't have boots, but they do have a smoke. But given the movement of GeekFam, I think this is just going to be a standard 2-for-2 ruin trade. Oh, if I have to put up with this Venge taunt all game, I'm going to kill Gabby.
Oh man. I mean, some taunts are really funny. Some are funny like once or twice, and then if you spam them, it's just absolutely obnoxious. Even the Jakiro taunt, or the Pangolier one with the stupid music bouncing through.
I like that one though.
Like, if you spam that time and time again, no, that's not good at all. But yeah, Execration. But they wanted to be active, and exactly what they are. They smoke up immediately. Make their way all the way to the other side. The problem with this kind of approach is that you have to go up the high ground.
In terms of where they were.
Play hard. Oh yeah, he's in a really good position to see this coming here. Can he be caught out? Doesn't look like it. GeekFam? Actually want to fight this here. Ollie throws out the ignite. Yeah, they secure this bounty.
So awkward.
It really is. No one's in their lanes right now.
Arrow?
What is happening? Guys, the creeps are about to meet in every single lane. Yeah, starting to see people TP out now.
They're still chasing.
4 heroes are still sticking around for GeekFam.
Oh,
Triple crush. Alright. I'll keep Lumix safe.
What an anticlimactic.
This is like both teams trying to do the SEA Classic, just like 5 kills before the creep spawn, but instead they just awkwardly stare at each other, like press a few buttons and then go their separate ways. Down bottom though, well, he's still being pressured with everyone taking their place.
Kind of a funny, just dynamic, and definitely a good ping coming out from the Viper Chuan. Just kind of anticipating this movement. Maybe they've done their homework and have seen Execration with that movement before.
Yep. Play hard. He was also in a good position to break the smoke. I mean, almost thought they would all go across. Then you can, and a much more awkward spot if you're the one going back up to the high ground into Execration, sitting on your rune spot.
This Viper is actually kind of struggling to zone out this Bane. He does have the Salve here to play with, but with the Bane in this lane, you should be looking to make a play elsewhere. So they do get some good damage onto Gabby. There's also good damage onto the puck as well. So they get the stun.
It's a very tanky ogre.
He has the Fairy Fire too.
Alright, so I'm gonna ask you a question that you asked me the other game.
Yep.
What lane is the first lap gonna be in?
Oh, I think it's gonna be top.
Okay.
Oh, there's a DD though. Oh.
You want to revise that?
I think it's gonna be top.
Yeah.
I think he saw the DD.
Oh yeah. Does have that wards scanning up and now he's James just right away with their deal.
Scans him too.
Yeah. Is the blink forward though? They really want to do something here with the brain sap, nightmare. Oh, Chuan. Well, at least they forced him to go in, but yeah, it is that first blood, and now perhaps looking for more. A couple of free right clicks. It can continue, but probably should take.
He should
will
not
just be
die like
rendered
that. He
useless, but,
sees the DD, he lands the scan, and he chooses to walk up to the lane. And
yeah. Maybe he didn't expect James to weaken that aggressively. Yuan is getting. Oh. Maybe thought it was the old Viper's. Ah, that was blinking better, but anyway.
Yeah.
James
He would
was
have to have the actual Nether Toxin where he does like
Oh yeah.
damage per missing health, but he only has 1 point in the poisoning attack.
Viper certainly a bit of a
Bane
different
helping
hero.
with the last hits here. He helped with one at least.
Top lane. A little bit of an awkward 2v2 here. March has a bit of a better attack range over Gabby, so he's able to put on a lot of pressure. Match the CS even. Only returning into this lane.
RR's going to go for a wave cut here. He's getting nothing out of bottom. Rubik's done such an amazing job of zoning him out and may actually get the lift off on him. But will they follow it up with anything?
Body bounty, I think. Not the arrow? Ah, it's just creep. Doesn't even get it. He just went for normal rune first. That's the region he was really getting a lot of mileage out of that. So R gets both of them down in bottom anyway.
He does lose the creep wave though.
Yeah.
Arrow
2 back.
on
3 back.
cooldown.
They're going for a tier 1 leap, 2 leap. Powerful, yeah, okay. It's one way to use these leaps, so safe lane in particular, if you don't require them to get out, just use them to get in.
Meanwhile, top, they seem to be kind of playing this ring around the rosy game with the trees and the ogre. And meanwhile, Viper, as soon as this Bane leaves the lane, he's like, okay, I can post up on the Qual now. And he kind of has definitely been improving in CS ever since the Bane left, but he's still struggling and staying behind the Qual, which is not good. As a Viper, you want to be ahead in your lane.
So far, so good. See this laning laning stage change dynamics anytime soon? Like, do more support rotations or something? Do you expect lanes to remain static?
I think it's going to stay static for a little bit longer. There's no major incentive for teams to switch things up.
Like, actually finds a nightmare there on the Marana. Does have 2 leaps available. Another
Have
TP
Sarda
coming through from
rotating
the
over.
Sarda, yeah. Gamberlo, he needs to find gets it off. Range potato, a little bit too slow on the trigger finger, but he's still faster with the sprint. Needs a crush too. No lift.
He
available
could have
from Rubik
lifted
though.
because he
Oh,
used
the fateful
damage.
Might have sealed the fate of the Marana here. He has to lift now. Enough mana taken in,
Stun,
but only
though.
into a crush. A couple of right clicks Raging Potato will not be enough to finish him off. So GeekFam kind of gifting a kill over to XctN.
Yeah, that's just panic. You think you need to do some damage and can turn around.
Yep.
But maybe a little bit of inexperience kind of coming through there.
You just don't look at the mana pool, or you don't think about it. Now, Wilmik and Rage Potato looking to try and create some more chaos. Wrapping around again. They realize that they can't be many leap charges. The Merlot used to, it's like 40-second replenish. No, 60-second replenish time actually. That is Nightmare into the crush. We're talking about it. So R does have the hits, doesn't throw it out. Would have been cutting it close anyway.
It's good to kind of harass her out of range, but now Venge has to play safe as they rotate the starter back up top. This is the right play to make. They get the lifts.
Well, Fire Blast just hit him all.
All he needs to get levels.
Yeah. Rubik level 4, but Ollie level 2.5. March though, he's level 6, so if he was involved in that, but obviously he's one of the laning creeps too. Has the face boots, who does a really good amount of right click damage already. He's going for the soul ring next. Still a super value item for a lot of these spammy heroes, right?
Yeah. Now, in the mid lane, James has yet to kind of decide which way he wants to go with his build. He does have the 2 null talismans to kind of secure these last hits up against a Viper. But if he wants to go back for a Midas, that's within his choice. But he decides to go treads, or does he just get the glove? No, he goes for the full on.
Rapper on Veggie Potato, he's smoked up, I believe. Play hard, scouts it out, now gets a lift up on Gabby. You see, he was winding up on stun. Still gets it off, and now follow up step from Luke as well. The couple of right clicks. Brain stab to nuke him down now. Maternal potential perhaps as well, but Nightmare. Target just used the orb here, can't jump to it. Another crush. But he's in this. Alright, Moonlight Shadow, they have no protection. I was like, wait, where's the follow up? It's not there.
James is here with Arcane Rune.
Yep, there it is. No facial tier to dodge a Shadow Strike, but he's under the tier 1 tower. But swap back, never mind! Swapped into a crush! Gabby with the plays here together with the rest of his team, so with that they should also be able to secure a little bit of damage on the tower if they want to, but they're also kind of low on health. Bottom lane at the same time, RR is being gone on 1 point up and a bit of Malice. Enough to interrupt there. Oh, maybe not. Skimbaloo, he really wants that kill. Doesn't get the double starfall. Needs one more right click to do the job. And Juking jiving, not gonna get it. It is Play Hard who's does the KS.
Secures it with the bolts.
Yeah.
We do have James here, though. He does have the Arcane Rune active.
Couple of seconds.
It's going to run out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
We've had to throw it out blind, but that's really not worth it with the Arcane Rune.
And blinking in aggressively is always open to punishment. Bench is actually forced to run back to base here. Not ideal.
But it's treads yet even, but you do have the Aquila to work with.
Yeah, I think the Mirana should be a little bit less focused on killing the Underlord and instead just take the tower. We saw that last time that her dive got punished when Rubik used Fate Bolt instead of the lift to keep her safe. But I think she should just put on the ring, maybe do like a half pull and be okay giving the Underlord levels. He's already level 6, and just take this tower and open up the map to transition out of this laning phase. Because I don't think
kind of falls into that now, I believe, because they did do this half pull because there was no hard camp to connect to. Oh, okay, top lane, Nightmare and nothing. All the way out of tier 1.
They know there's vision up on this cliff now, which is good information for GeekFam.
Yep.
Now James, it's continuing to run around. He needs to farm. Like, he won his lane with the Bane's help, and now he's just been kind of running around. Like, we just saw him run halfway to bottom, and now he's coming back.
Oh, top lane, look for Gabby at the same time. Play hard, making a rotation to help with the extra bit of control. Didn't even have to use the Dream Call for it. But still has that available. Now Reggie Potato, well, trying to stay in experience range, I guess.
They also increased the experience gain range, so.
Yep. Right, so
Rubik
I actually kind of like this rotation because you're talking about pushing bottom, but as long as RR is there, that's maybe probably the reason why they ended up going for him, because if he's alive, he just throws out Firestorm and gets rid of the creep wave. Can't really push without that, or without at least the catapult. That's the one that can stay alive. But
yeah.
E1 bottom is still very much alive and kicking, but they can also make a rotation up top.
Top lane? Do they know Raging Potato, sir?
They know now, and okay, Reveals himself gets pushed back into the silence, into the call. Let's get the crush, but nice dodge from March. Beautiful play on the spot right there. Let's secure the tower. They do lose the... oh wow, that's super useful. They do lose the catapult, unfortunately. So no easy tower push. Well done bottom, that was got script into the brain sap, maxed out, and that's enough to finish up the Mirana.
Not ideal to lose your Mirana, but Viper seems to be pushing mid.
James up top. Silenced up. Blinked in aggressively here, Raging Potato, but this time they have no way.
I think March may die here.
Still, there is no lift available.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Quan is going the Veil build on the Viper.
Oh yeah.
Probably going to take that spell lifesteal and just kind of max out his damage and get some more armor too, which is very valuable on the Viper with the high strength gain, 2.4 per level.
Well, damage Viper. The new trend. Doesn't SEA. Also makes some good sense. Frees up the park to go straight for the Blink Dagger rather than having to decide between that and the Veil.
Mm-hmm.
And that on top of the aggressive no-fit order is eventually going to come out. For now, though, they're going to try and burst down the Queen of Pain. It signs to follow, and yeah, that is Fateful together with everything else. And that laning stage from the Queen of Pain, sure, he's still ahead in terms of net worth, but only just.
Yeah. I think it's just Quap's been running around trying to get these kills in a very kind of old play style. But I think if she just would have sat mid and maybe instead of going Veil or for the power treads, just grabbed a Midas, she could run back, Midas creep, and just not necessarily have to push the lanes or look for these skills.
Up 2-1 has fallen. Yuan still sticking around in mid. He might be rotated on at this point. Can't even kill him.
He's tanky though.
3 points up Corrosive Skin is less armor now than he had before with the Corrosive Case. James coming through, does have the ultimate to work with. He's out for the first time this game, so do blow them down. The arrow will connect on the Slaughter, so that'll be the one trade. Sgembalo to the field up here. And it's a swap to make sure they can get the damage out. So this turns into quite a good fight for Execration here. Puck on the into trying to turn this around. Extra follow-up control from Reigns. Does not have another blink for another couple of seconds. One more right click in the division and they get it. March dropping low but not low enough. Ollie, he might be the target instead here. A couple of right clicks, well, will be enough for the extra route. He's tanky but not tanky enough. So 4 for 2 trade in the end. They do lose James again, but this time you can argue it was worth it.
I would say that's very much so worth it. And how does Execration get all 5 of their heroes under, like, behind your tier 1 tower?
Yeah,
timing the tier 2 tower.
Look at the wards that they get down too.
At 14 minutes. Like, how does the team all get there?
Like, what's the value of this ward as well on the high ground? When you don't even have tier 1.
It's scouting courier, it's scouting movements. A lot of smokes will happen back on that high ground.
Yeah.
And it just gives you a sense of the direction the players are going as they come out of the base if they're not TPing out of the base.
Try to make use of that smoke up between James and Lumic. There's no Sonic Wave available, but there's a Veil on the squab and Ollie. Well, Nightmare up. The help available? Yeah, doesn't look like they want to bring it up. Apart from that Moonlight Shadow, forcing out dust and Execration.
Top lane.
Nothing else. They're very scared about that top lane.
Punished.
Okay, yeah, they just lived up into the call. Not taking any chances here.
Another phase shift dodge of that crush.
This is some mind games as well, Execration. They didn't want to go for the kill because Moonlight Shadow came out. They're not exactly sure about the positioning of the rest of GeekFam, so they back off that kill. At the same time, they lose that up top, so... Fam. Look at how fast Rubik is with the sprint too. Crazy.
With level 4, does he get the bonus through the river?
You do.
I think so, right?
You do.
He probably doesn't even need a TP bottom. He can just run there in the river. Arrow comes out.
Oh, there it is.
Initiation.
Back Vengeful Spirit, extra damage. Gabby throws on a stun now into the Fiend Script. They're gonna lose Mirana here. And Gabby's still alive. Xuan is coming in. He needs his last bit of damage coming through from the Park here now. The control is there. They burst down another one.
Silence.
That's what you call space created, Mr. V. All dead.
They're losing their core Mirana, but is Mirana really the core at this point? Just like,
you
this
still
puck is
two
doing
others.
so much work.
You have Puck, you have Viper. Viper's actually a little bit behind in terms of net worth, but
yeah,
these kind of team fight participations will help him catch up, and he's still providing a whole lot in these fights with the Veil. We're just talking about it.
I think he needs to go like Mjolnir to get some more magical damage and some capacity to farm faster. On the Viper, at least. Just gives you added health, essentially.
Crush after the Blink Dagger being revealed here, but extra root coming through. TP in from Ollie. They don't want to commit for that fight just yet, but there it is, James. With the... the stun comes through. They're gonna do some damage at the very least in return. No deny. In fact, they both will die. Just TPing out normally instead of the ultimate. Come to defend mid next here. This tier 1 top should be secured. And, lane. It is in 9 range. Run,
get the
root it up. Raging Potato, he does have the blink, does throw it out the other side.
And now James is looking to build towards this Orchid. This will be a big threat added to the puck before Yule Scepter is up, and puck is still a fair ways away.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Definitely looking towards Raging Potato though. I mean, that blink reveal up top did end up leading to some kills. A little bit delayed, but still ended up working out. So if there's
Good
quite a few
rotation
more of
of that
those, yeah. They can find a few more of those, like especially if they can defend these kind of pushes. They can get to a point where they can catch up in terms of farm, because GeekFam, they have 3 of their cores at the top 4.
Sleep on the Viper here.
Just keep rooting them up. At this point it still feels very tanky though. That's something we talked about. By damage. Corrosive Haze. Still not getting used to that. So, that's the plan for Execration. Just try and keep snowballing, keep farming up on their cores, try and match what GeekFam's doing.
Yeah, I think a lot of it comes down to them wanting to get this Orchid up on the Qual. So they want to kind of play it safe, maybe get a pick-offs here with this Sardar bit Link. But the way that GeekFam is playing right now is quite defensive.
Say that though, they're smoking around, and Coil onto 2, Silence as well. They're looking for either one of these. They're trying to spread the damage out, and they should be able to get away with both these kills. Splinter control. There's the crush coming through onto Marana with the amplified damage, but look at this break. Gabby has to swap himself out, but it might not be enough to catch up with him. They bring him down. Okay, Scamberlo might still get crushed up again. Don't think Raging Potato has some right clicks on his lonesome though.
And they see Quap with the Corrosive Haze.
I think he was trying to escape, but then it was Quap going in. And he was forced to rejoin the rest of his team. But yeah, this time around nobody died instead of GeekFam.
Yeah. I think I didn't get to finish my thought. Like, I wanted to say that GeekFam is defensively playing as 5. Maybe the defensive is not the right word there, but they're playing very tight as like a core unit. You see how their heroes are moving about together, and that really gives them opportunity to punish Execration if they try to be greedy.
Yep. Getting away with that because Execration, right now they have a hard time pushing out these waves. Try and punish this kind of a playstyle. Just stick. I don't know, they're forced into a similar style themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, because if you try to split push 5-man, but you still take fights, you're going to lose. If your split push isn't strong enough. And on Execration side, they don't have the means to split push super effectively without like Quap having a Mjolnir or Venge having a Deso. You need that ability to clear the wave quickly and take towers in order to effectively play that style versus the 5-man. But in this situation, they're just kind of forced to try to take advantage of little positional errors from the side of...
Maybe like this, the crush comes out after the orb. James coming through with the Fiend's go onto the back. That's a big kill. Very swift indeed, but now Skembelu maybe trying to do something. Make up those past transgressions, but it does have a few leaps to work with. The arrow will fly, but they don't overcommit into Execration. Probably for the best.
Yeah, those are the little plays I'm talking about where Execration needs to punish the little positional mistakes made by GeekFam if they want to kind of work their way back into a winning position. Both teams are, I think, able of winning this game, but the question comes down to, in my opinion, who's going to get more out of the map with its current state. And Viper actually farms fairly quickly now with Nether Toxin. I would really like to see the Maelstrom build up, but I don't think that's going to happen really from either team. Even Murano will probably just go Manta Diffusal or something like that.
Diffusal still good value. With the slows. This game though, I'm trying to think about it because I don't even know if you can make good use of so. At the very least, good damage with the Manta Style and it's a looking for Roshan now. I mean, they have the Manta Style to work with. But they also have a Puck scouting it out. Yeah. GeekFam can fight this. They have Coil, they have Viper.
They also have Firestorm on Rubik.
Yeah. No way Execration get away with this.
Walking into Roche is a suicide mission right now for both teams, even with Ogre down.
So they're gonna go for the tier 1 tower.
Radiant
GeekFam
structures
not
are
quite in the
fortified.
best position to stop that just yet. The blink just used on the puck to get closer to the rest of the team. So we'll lose the tower. TP from Oli still coming in. Titan on a Viper. With the orderly retreat back up to their own high ground.
Both these teams.
Yeah, very timid, very tactical, very strategic. They don't want to give anything up, really.
Yeah, and that's even seen now in the itemization. You have Mech and Midas coming out.
Nice reaching potato. Necodon on RR. So you'll just be the Aura Lord, essentially, with Mechanism, Guarding Grease eventually. Sort of Defiance into the pipe.
Okay.
They might just die again if they have follow control. Ready Potato goes for it, but now it gets lifted up into the Moonlight Shadow. The Crush actually missing a stone from Luig, and now it gets Fiend Screwed up. Lunik in a good position, but there's the coil from the park coming through. Triple silence too. They just need the damage from the Viper. Some to wreck away. Missing up high ground, but there it is. That's the big Crush he was looking for. Double kill for Play Hard. He will get killed. Of Haze just keeping eyes on him despite the Moonlight Shadow. Now defensive swap trying to get himself out. He's taking enough that he should be able to stand that. Taking Gabby with him. Only James left in this middle lane, but it's still a very worthwhile trade for GeekFam. Very 2 heroes for 1. All of them are supports, but still, why not?
I was interested to know, was James just like not at that fight? I think he blinked his way over. Maybe he just didn't have TP. He doesn't have a TP right now.
Yep. If they've taken a fight with that D rune that he just
got it now.
Okay, never mind.
He could potentially get a kill on this Mirana.
2 lead charges, but the silence will prevent those.
Scream.
Is that enough with the
Pretty
pop?
close.
Not Qual!
Dire's bottom tower.
The dagger
more
may
like
take her though.
Oh,
It's going to be so close. 11 HP.
Fairy Fire! Oh, Fairy Fire Gaming! There it is. Whew.
Wow. That was
Oh,
so
that's
close.
a lift on the Bane. Dragging back up. Easy kill. Meanwhile, stun up on the Raging Potato. Can GeekFam think about Roshan themselves? Probably
Maybe if they
not,
can
right?
steal Corrosive Haze.
Yeah.
But Viper's very magic damage heavy at this point, and you don't necessarily want to go into Rogue as they look for the puck right now. Yules is off cooldown.
Get the Blink Crush, I get the silence.
And the bash.
It didn't take long at all.
It's very bad for GeekFam. They now know where these 3 kind of like core ganking heroes are, so they're able to find farm the opposing map. But in reality, they're not getting a whole lot out of the map right now, and giving these kills to Queen of Pain really will accelerate her BKB, which will be a big issue in these team fights when she doesn't have to worry about the puck silence.
Yep. The rescue away, I believe. Yep.
I'm not sure if you saw that, but Mirana accidentally attack-clicked the bounty rune that she was standing on top of.
So start up on Dimensional Spirit, that's much bigger kill than the Slaughter here. Stand inside the break, swaps out, and James gets the blink, but it's not far enough. Still inside the River of Death, and now both of these zeros down, they're gonna try and go for Roshan anyway. They actually have a bit of minus armor with the Wave of Terror. Not quite as the Corrosive Haze, but it will help out. Arrow to work with, and Execration. They could maybe try and poke with like Firestorm and whatnot, but instead gonna try and use him in the park. He does have the Yules. Can he jaunt out? No, he cannot. Can jaunt out of the root. Plenty of time for James. Take advantage of that. With another ultimate, they will get Aegis. They will lose not just the park, but also a bit of damage to Tier 3 tower. Now they just get the taxi ride home.
Rubik left.
Oh, the 4 stuff! Oh my god! Chuan with the blaze. Yeah.
How intentional was it? We'll never know.
Oh, he
But
was
we'll
timing
pretend
out,
like
dude.
it was.
It was timing out. Gotta give him the benefit of the doubt in these situations.
Alright, sounds good.
Alright. Where does it leave us now? So it's been a bit of a back and forth despite everything that's happened. Execration has been able to maintain a bit of a gold lead, but 27 minutes in, only 4k. It's not the craziest amount, especially if you also consider the XP graph being right around the 0 line. So who has some momentum here in this game, would you say?
With the Aegis pickup on the Mirana, I think GeekFam is... They're in an alright position, but I really feel like the pressure is on them with this Viper building a magic damage type route. There's not a, like, in terms of scaling, Viper really only transitions well in terms of the ultra late game with having stuff like Butterfly, and him building this more defensive just kind of makes him tanky, and so he's dependent on his
Okay, he's
opponent.
getting swapped into a Fiend Script. A couple of right clicks to follow up, but he's pretty damn tanky. And now the rest of the team coming in, they will still lose him. A couple BKBs coming through on execration, so they'll make sure that GeekFam cannot actually throw out most of their abilities. And result, double kill for James. So this was the double BKB reveals, I believe. Gambler is still on the run. Should be fine.
No leap charges either.
Raging Potato might still find him actually. Throws himself mid, Blink Crush, Throws of Haste, the bashes. Manting it off once, but cannot mant off the silence now. We'll lose the Aegis. Now into an extra crush. Does have another leap charge, but the stun will still connect. Play hard, trying to fight and turn things around, but just do a Sonic Wave and gets a blink away.
Will he live long enough to use it?
Question rates. Does have enough mana now. The sounds crushed up. Might not be able to get it off. Yeah, he does. No cast point. Pretty useful. But ultimately, what does it get them? A little bit of damage on the heroes, no kills.
Execration bottom. Gabby's doing work.
Be a big creep wave down here as well. 3 heroes down. GeekFam a lot of trouble in the swapping again on the Yoga Magi this time. That's another freebie, and well, what did they say? It's a chain feed into a Rax.
We've seen
GeekFam more. There it is, the stun, but 4-star will bring Viper to a decent position, but they caught out outside of the base, inside the pit. Park has just been completely shut down in these last couple of fights.
Oh, he cancelled his ultimate.
Yeah. Get the Rax. There's a creep wave in mid. You can get the tier 2 and then back off. GeekFam took crippling damage, and then Goldcraft that we were talking about earlier. From 4k up to 13, probably 14k after this tower falls.
Yeah, for sure.
They can even keep going though, full health, full mana with the Guardian Greaves and
30 seconds on puck.
Am I back here in this situation, or do you just try and slow them down? Yeah, they swap again. This time the 4-star before any sort of follow-up can come out. And we didn't get the things go up in time. Yeah, but he's proved to be quite tanky at this point.
These BKBs just really nullify Viper's capacity to do damage without having done a right-click build. There's a BKB up on Qual now, there's BKB on the Venge. Even heroes like Underlord with this pipe are really offering a lot of sustain and damage mitigation on the side of Execration. So GeekFam really kind of in a hard spot with how much their damage is not having value later into the game. Like Puck is a very magic based hero in terms of damage. Even Mirana with the Starfall as they look to maybe get a pick off top, but James is BKB, so this is going to be a hard one for them to execute.
Bottom again as well. Jimmy Johnson too. He's trying to TP out, but forced to face shift the crush. Fight still goes on top. With the BKB, he's actually taking quite a bit of damage here, not getting a kill. Can they punish him off? They get the stun control onto Lumix, so that'll be the casualty here. Puck able to play his way out of there down bottom. Meantime, Rubik still dies to the damage over time. Well, if he had the defensive null field, that wouldn't have happened.
Yep.
Maybe.
Tisk tisk.
I think it just changed it in the middle of that fight too.
Yeah. Going into the fight, I think he changed it. I like the change to Rubik. It kind of adds a new dynamic to the hero.
Yeah.
In terms of having more aggressive potential and just like more opportunity to do things with your abilities. Like
more buttons to press, you know?
It's Rubik, not Wraith King, right?
Exactly.
Next set of items coming out here. Mirana does go back for that Diffusal Blade, which does pair nicely with the mana break she gets later on in terms of her full 20 talent, but she's not doing too well on the levels.
Interesting.
Altogether.
It's 25 mana break at level 20, while the Weaver gets plus 20 mana break at level 10.
Yeah.
Seems a little bit underpowered for level 20 talent. Running into each other again, the stun comes up and down to half health. The rest of the team screening to prevent the follow-up on the right-hand side. They might lose Ollie for though. Yeah, they will indeed. When should I come through? Stolen Sprint, not exactly ideal. That's alright.
Got BKB. Don't think this will make a difference though.
That's a question mark right there.
That's a 10-second avatar that he just used to die anyways.
It's the first time I've seen that word uttered in relation to BKB in ever, actually. But yeah, you're actually right. It's the active is called Avatar for some reason.
I'm a pretty big Avatar fan, so I like to use it here and there. Like people just kind of like don't know what you're talking about though, so I'm just like I'll like consciously avoid it if possible, but sometimes I'm just like, yeah, that avatar was useless. They're just like, what?
What? Happening? Is that a new morphling ability? Is this what's happening?
Yeah.
But,
Is there another item?
yeah. But yeah.
Trying to think of other.
It is Hurricane Pike. It's actually called Hurricane Thrusts. Never seen that uttered once by any caster.
Yeah, many people don't like using thrust in everyday sentences for obvious
just asking
reasons.
for trouble, right?
Yeah. Oh, he really thrusted that hero away.
Passive from the Etherlands called Ethereal Focus. Oh wow, that Ethereal Focus really gave him the range to pull that off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I get it. So I'll stop with the avatar usage.
Radiant are scanning.
Or like Magic Weakness by Veil of Discord.
Yeah. Orchid is just
Right.
Soulburn, yeah. Soulburn from the Orchid is another one.
I've heard that one used though.
Arctic Blast from Shivas. Oh yeah, I've heard it more often.
Alright, Venge has got the butterfly up.
Arctic Blast, it's confusing with Arctic Burn on the Wyvern.
Yeah.
This is actually an interesting backstab if that works out. And coming in from unexpected angles is when your team fighter smoke will break, and now Rage Potato misses the crush here, so that's the BKB out. I get RR in the middle of that. Finds play hard, gets a couple of crushes off, and no, he's the one tanking the green scope too. Shuan still in the middle of that, will be focused down next, but now Murata to the side trying to salvage this, but it's only him as well as the Pack of Animal. Gembaloo just dying one by one. Now that's a Lord Ultimate towards the middle lane. Forcing out some buybacks here. The Viper already. Marana is next on the list. They need to try and do something here, but
they're not dissuaded.
And there's a swap back into the Nightmare. The Execution lose a lot of their ultimates. Now Gembaloo coming back in. The cross is will connect. Viper, that's a dieback in him. Puck. He survived that whole ordeal up top. Yeah, buyback guy should. Has to use it right away, but still lose the racks. Now it's Execration doing it to GeekFam. He'll go straight for the throne. GG.
Tire
alright.
side. Very strong. I was really hoping that fight you're just gonna narrate it using all the like active abilities. Oh,
oh no, I'm not good enough.
Underlord uses Mend.
The guard
Guardian
Mend,
Greens.
yes. The guard and the Mend really helping them survive. But no, I don't have these.
From...
It's guard from the Crimson Guard.
Okay.
I really don't have all of these in my head, so there's no way I actually make use of that. Even, maybe if I was a native speaker, but I have my set vocabulary, and expanding it like that in the middle of a team fight, that's a recipe for disaster, to say the least.
In either case, Execration coming out on top, tying up the series. I think they did a really good job in kind of I was talking a bit about the drafting phase in punishing the dual ranged core lineup from GeekFam. They ran it first with the Medusa Drought and this time with Marana and Viper. And I think they really understood that what they need to do is they need to have control and initiation, and having the Quap and the Slardar and the Venge to swap and the Bane